Hello again, and welcome back to this week's Wicked Wisdoms. Now, this is the final episode in this series, and if you've been with me since episode 1, then you might remember what I said. Some of these ideas might get you a little flabbergasted, feeling a little something. And this episode is probably gonna be one of those moments, because today we're flipping the story. You see, Wicked isn't really Elphaba's story. I know, I'm sorry, don't come for me. It's Glinda's. Elphaba isn't the one who transforms. She doesn't have a change of heart. She doesn't soften or shrink or apologize. She grows and she evolves, and we can see her arc from the beginning to where it's going to go. It is a consistent growth arc. She becomes a more embodied version of herself, but she never stops being who she was. The journey, the arc, the real character shift, that belongs to Glinda. So let's rewind. When we meet Glinda, she's the golden girl. She's charming, popular. Sorry, I just had to. She's performative. She's polished within an inch of her life. She knows how to smile just right, how to say the right thing, how to win approval. She knows how to play the part. She has been raised to believe that the path to good is paved with pleasing, not with leading. And then she meets our friend, Elphaba. And Elphaba does what Glinda had never seen someone do. Elphaba tells the truth. She speaks up. She refuses to shrink and be smaller. And Glinda's whole world starts to crack. Now, at first she mocks Elphaba. Then she mimics her. And then she admires her. And eventually she follows her. Not physically, but she believes and aligns with what Elphaba is doing. Because the deeper you go into Wicked, the more you realize Elphaba is not the one who changes. She just sheds and lets go of what isn't hers. The real change happens to Glinda. She goes from self-centered to self-aware. From light for show to light with purpose. By the end of the story, she is stepping into her calling when Madame Morble says, "I can see how truly good you are." Glinda says, "Not yet. But I'm trying." Not because she always wanted to do good, but because Elphaba showed her what good actually looks like. And that's the twist. The girl we're told to love, Glinda, becomes the leader that we hope that she would be, but only because of the girl that we're told to fear. There's this devastating moment near the end. Elphaba says, "You can't defend me. They need to believe I'm wicked, because if I'm wicked, that makes you good." So let's pause on that. That's not just dialogue. That's a blueprint for how systems protect themselves. Someone gets cast as a villain so someone else can be seen as a hero. It's not about truth. It's about narrative balance. And in the workplaces, in our families, in our governments, this plays out every day. One person pushes too hard, speaks too plainly, or refuses to mask, and suddenly, they're the problem. So someone else can stay seen as professional, or nice, or the reasonable one. But Elphaba chooses not to fight it. She doesn't need the last word. She doesn't need her name cleared. She simply says, "Let them call me wicked. I know who I am." And that's not giving up. That's liberation. Because once you stop begging people to understand you, you get to live as yourself, fully, unapologetically, especially if they don't clap. So to every Elphaba out there, thank you for not shrinking. Thank you for holding the line. Thank you for being the truth that cracks someone else's illusion, even if they called you difficult, even if they called you wicked. You are never the villain. You are the reason why the story has changed. And to every Glinda out there, the ones who are starting to see the cracks, who are feeling the shifts, who are looking around and saying, "This isn't right," as you're waking up to how the story is shaped and who it's left out. You may not have started out brave, but now you're seeing what's happening. And even if you're not sure what to do, even if you think it's not your place, it is. Because silence protects systems. But your voice, your platform, your proximity to power, that can protect people. You don't have to become Elphaba to make a difference. But you do have to stop pretending that you don't see what she saw. So if you felt a nudge, call, maybe a quiet voice saying that I can do more, listen to it. Your magic, your title, your access, use it. Not to rise higher, but to reach back. Now that's leadership. That's growth. And that is good. So here's where we land. The story was never about changing Elphaba. It was about what happened when Glinda finally saw her clearly. Elphaba was never the project. She was the mirror. And Glinda was the one who had to grow into the kind of person who deserved the title good. That's it for this arc of Wicked Wisdoms. If this series sparked something in you, good. It was supposed to. Because we don't need more leaders who look like all of the other leaders. We need more leaders who are willing to see clearly and more people willing to be seen fully. And until next time, remember, you don't have to become someone else to be good. You just have to stop pretending that you were ever bad. Don't forget, as always, you got this. I'll see you next week.